So today we are going to do binary addition. Hope you already know how to do binary addition manually, which we also do in your class notes. Just gonna write a program how to do binary addition. Actually, in your syllabus you need to know how to do binary addition and subtraction, but once you learn binary addition, then only I can teach you about binary subtraction, because it's a bit more lengthy program. So today we'll do only the binary addition. And this program, my logic was using arrays to do binary addition. You can also find other programs using operators to do binary addition in internet if you search for that. And my program is different from that. I use arrays to do binary addition. So moving on, it's my first binary addition. For binary, it can be a 4-bit binary, it can be a 6-bit or an 8-bit binary. So for binary addition, what we will actually do is we will add the least significant binaries together. We will add the least significant binaries together. If we add 0 and 0, then the answer will be 0. And if we add 0 and 1, the answer will be 1 with no carry. And hence for binary addition, what we have is 0 plus 0 will give you a 0 with 0 carry, and 0 plus 1 will give you 1 with 0 carry, and 1 plus 1 will give you 1 with 1 carry. Again, if you have three numbers, say 1 plus 1 plus 1, then it will 1 plus 1 will give you 0 with 1 carry, and 1 plus 1 plus 1 will give you 1 plus 1 carry. So this is how we do binary addition. So on doing binary addition, what we will do is we will add the digits in the least significant binary, and if you get a carry, then you will add that carry into the next digit, then you will add the next significant digits, and we'll move on. In the first example, see what we have is two binaries, 0 1 1 1, which corresponds to the number 7, and 0 0 1 0, which corresponds to the number 2. So here on adding, 1 plus 0 will give you 1, 1 plus 1 will give you 0 with a carry 1. Again, 1 plus 1 plus 0 will give you 0 with a carry 1, and 1 plus 0 plus 0 is giving you 1. Therefore, the answer is 1 0 0. Similarly, for a 6-bit binary, that is 0 0 1 1 1, which corresponds to 7 only, you can if you are trying to add a 6-bit binary to a 4-bit binary, just add a number behind it. It is a 5-bit binary, sorry. And what here the addition is 1 plus 1 is 0 with a carry 1. Again, 1 plus 1 0 with a carry 1. Here it is 1 plus 1 plus 1. Therefore, the answer is 1 with a carry 1. Again, 1 plus 0 is giving you a 1, and 0 plus 0 plus 1 is giving you a 1. Again, if you are going for an 8-bit addition, you can similarly do the same program, as 0 plus 1 will give you 1. 1 plus 0 is gonna give you 1 with carry 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 0 with a carry 1. Again, 1 plus 1 is 0 with a carry 1. And 1 plus 1 is 0 with a carry 1. And here what we are going to express is the answer is 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1 with a carry 1. So my logic of doing this was using arrays. So my logic was doing this as arrays. Using arrays, what I'm trying to do is, using arrays, what I'm trying to do is, I will input a binary. I will ask the user to input a binary. So the user will input a binary. Say if it's a 4-bit binary, the user will input 0, 0, 1, 1. Say any number. And then I will ask the user to input the another binary. Say it is 0, 1, 0, 0. Now I have to add this. Manually what I do, I will add these two bits, give its answer, then afterwards if I have a carry, then I will add this to the next bit and take a carry and will move on like that. So in case of arrays, we are storing these digits in arrays, so that as you have already learned, the first bit will go here. This is the first bit, that is I is equal to 1 bit. We will define this array as AI or AN. This is I is equal to 1 bit, the I is equal to 2 bit, 3 and 4. Similarly for B, you will have these bits arranged like this. So what we actually do is, we will add the 4th bit of A to the 4th bit of B, and we will get an answer. We will save it into a variable sum, and the carry we will get is saved into a carry. And in the next step, what we will do is, we will add the next bit, the second last bit of these two numbers, the next bit of these two arrays, give its with the carry plus carry of the first, and we will add it as sum, and we will get an answer. It will be stored into sum, and if you have any carry, it will be saved into the carry. And in the next step, this carry will be added to A2 plus B2. This is how we are going to do our program. So here I have first asked my user what will be the number of bits I have to add. I don't know whether I have to add a 4-bit number or a 6-bit number or a 8-bit number. So first of all, I will ask the user how many bits are there in your numbers that is gonna add. So I will take that number into a variable n, so it will be stored in the variable n. Afterwards, I will ask the user to enter the first binary A. And hope you know that this is the syntax for inputting data into an array. To get data into an array, we have to use a for loop. That is, during the first loop, it will start with this is my array name first. Therefore, if the array name first will have here, say if I have entered 4, if n is equal to 4, then it will create 4 memory space. And during the first iteration, I will enter the first number, and it will go to this, that is first I or first 1 will be active, and it will go to this memory slot. Afterwards, during the second iteration, that is when I is equal to 1, it will go over here, the number I enter. Then the next iteration, it will go over here, it will go over here. So this is how I can input a number into a binary. I can start either I from 0 and put I less than n, or I can start from I is equal to 1 and give I less than or equal to n. That will be fine. And during the next step, I ask the user to give me the second binary. Again, the user will give me the second binary, and I have to input the number inputting into the binary. Then the second binary I have just named it as second, and this will also create a memory space, say 4-bit if I have given n as 4, and during every iteration the number will be stored into this. This is the syntax which we use to store number into a binary. And afterwards we have to add two binaries. Now this is from here to here. These are the steps which I have used to add two binaries. This for loop entirely is dedicated to add these two binaries. Now to add binaries we have to start from the least binary. The least binary, here the first binary is 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore the least binaries that is to be added is the last digit, that is first 4 have to be added to the second 4. Then we have to add first 3 to the second 3. This is how we add numbers. So it is not that we have to move from 1 to 4. Here we have to move backwards. In all the 4 loops we have learned so far, the number moves from 0, 1, 2, 3 in ascending order. But in this case, since we have to start from the least binary, the numbering starts from the last number. Say if it is 4-bit, then it will start from 4, 3, 2, 1 and so on. So this is how we are going to do the binary addition. So here the initialization condition, I is not equal to 0. I is n, that is the highest binary number. Then only we can start from the least digit. So we will give I is equal to n, and afterwards the condition, the termination condition is not I less than n, it is the termination condition, that is I greater than or equal to 0. That is, if it have to move from the digit 4 to 0. And afterwards the increment operator is not used. We use a decrement operator, I minus minus, because we have to move backwards. Now I have defined a variable x such that x will add the least significant binary of the first array and then the second array and a carry. Now I have defined carry here, initialized it to 0. That is, my initial carry is 0. Initially I don't have a carry, therefore I can give initial carry is equal to 0. Now my variable x is the first I, that is the ith digit of the first, the ith character, ith element of the second array plus carry. Now I will check if this x is equal to 2. So what I actually gonna check is, see here 1 0 1 1 and say this is 0 0 1 1. Initially I have a carry 0. Now I have to add 0 to the first I and the second I, and my answer can have 4 possibilities depending on the numbers here. My answer can have 4 possibilities, that is, answer can be 0 plus 0 plus 0. That is, if these two digits are 0, this is one possibility. It can be 0 plus 1 plus 0, or either 0 plus 0 plus 1. That is one possibility. It can be 0 plus 1 plus 1. This is another possibility. And while adding the second digit, my carry can or cannot be 0, or can or cannot, that is, can be 1 or 0. So I have another possibility, that is 1 plus 1 plus 1. So these are the 3 possibilities which I have. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is another possibility. Therefore, I have four possibilities. In my first possibility, x can be equal. Therefore, the possibilities are x can be equal to 0, x can be equal to 1, or the possibilities are x can be equal to 0. This is when the carry and the both digits are 0. X can be equal to 1, x can be equal to 2, and x can be equal to 3. So these are my four possibilities. Since I have four possibilities here, I have used a nested if-else loop. And I am telling my compiler, see, if x is equal to 2, that is, if any two numbers, either the carry or the number, any one number is equal to 1, then I will have x is equal to 2. Then my sum will be 0 and carry will be 1. And the sum will be stored into another array which is defined as sum I. Therefore, what will happen is, the initial carry is 0 and 1 plus 1, that is x is equal to 2 in this case. 0 plus 1 plus 1, x is equal to 2 in this case, and the compiler will see that x is equal to 2. Okay, right? Now the condition is, if x is equal to 2, the sum have to be equal to 0. Now it will create another another array such that it will also have 4 arrays, and this number will be stored here because I starts from n. So if we add the least significant digits, and the answer will go to the 0 array. And after that, if x is not equal to 2, then it will check if x is equal to 1. If x is equal to 1, then we know that if x equal to 1 case is 0 plus 0 plus 1, right? Now the answer is 1 with a carry 0. And the next case, x is equal to 3. That is the case when we have 1 plus 1 plus 1. Now in that case, the sum is 1 and also carry is 1. Now the last case is x is equal to 0. If x is equal to 0, then sum is 0 and the carry is 0. So these are the four conditions. Since I have four conditions, I have used a nested if-else loop. Now what will happen is, the compiler will check the ith digit of the first, ith digit of the second, and add it with the carry, and it will be stored into the variable x. X will go for a frequent check if it's 2 or 1 or 3 or 0, and depending on that, it will run the program inside. That is, what is the value of the sum and what is the value of the carry. The value of the sum will be stored into that digit, and the carry here we get will be added to the next first I and second I, and that first carry will be added to this, and the function will move on. This is how we add two binaries. Now after adding two binaries, we have to get an output from the binary. Similar to what we have used to get an input from the binary, we have used a for loop to give input to a binary. In C++, you have to use similarly an for loop to get output from a binary also, so that the output will start from j is equal to 0 to less than n. That is, the output will be displayed as the first number goes over here, the second, or during the first iteration. Here we have summed it into a variable. See, an array is already formed, and the compiler know now the sum is some array which has a 4-digit or 6-digit number. Say it is 1111. Now we have to get an output from it. So to get an output from it, we use a for loop. so that during the first iteration the number we will get is the first number stored here, that is 1. Now the second number stored here, the third number stored here, and the fourth number stored here. Now see, we just don't have a sum, sometimes we will have a carry also. Therefore we will see out the value of the carry also, and the program ends here with a return 0. So this is the logic of my program. Can you please ask any doubts?
Teacher, last for loop on the
Yeah, sure. See, using the first for loop, these two for loops we use to get a number into a array. That is, when it will start from I is equal to 0. The first number we entering will be going to the first memory space. Now the loop will run once again and it will go to the second memory space, and until it will go to the nth memory space. N is the number of bytes, number of bits. Now here after addition we have saved all these answers into an array which named sum, and now the compiler know what is in the sum array, but we have to get it as an output in our screen. So to get an output in our screen, similarly we use a for loop, and using a for loop the first number will be j is equal to 0, and see out sum j, that is sum 0. Sum 0 will be the first number here. So the first number will be C outed. Again this will run again, and we will have j is equal to 1 at that case. Now sum 1 will be C outed, that is the second number. Again it will run, similarly it will see out the sum 3 and sum 2 and sum 3 digits respectively. Is that clear?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Any other doubts?
Teacher. Teacher, I equal to n, I greater than equal to 0 media for loop ഒന്നും പറയൂ.
എവിടെയാണ്, ഏത് സ്റ്റെപ്പാണ് പറയൂ?
I equal to n, I greater than equal to 0.
Okay, മനസ്സിലായി. Okay, ഈ സ്റ്റെപ്പ് അല്ലേ? See, binary for a for loop, usually we will go for an increment operator, because we have these I to vary in a fashion 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. This is the fashion in which we increase I. But in this case, we have to start from the least digit, that is the 4th digit or the 8th digit or the 6th digit. It is not that we can move from 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. It is the way we have to move from the least digit, say 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We have to move in a decreasing order. So since to move from the decreasing order, the initialization, the initial value will be the least value, that is I is equal to n. Here the initial value is the first value, that is I is equal to 0, and in this case we have to initialize the value towards the least value, that is I is equal to 4 or 8. And after that, in every loop I should decrease. If it was 8 initially, then it should decrease to 7, 6, 5, 4. Therefore we use a decrement operator here, not an increment operator. Now what is the termination condition? The termination condition will be when it reaches 0. So the termination condition is I greater than or equal to 0. That is, this loop will work until only I is equal to 0 or any value greater than that. Is that clear?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Any other doubts?
നമ്മൾ അതെ ഈ സമ്മിന്റെ കേസ് വരുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും അവിടെ നമ്മൾ ആദ്യത്തെ നമ്മൾ കൊടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ രണ്ടാമത്തെ ബൈനറി നമ്മൾ കൊടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. സോ സമ്മ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും അത് രണ്ട് കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് സമ്മ് നമുക്ക് എഴുതാമല്ലോ. അവിടെ ഫോർ ലൂപ്പിന്റെ ആവശ്യം എന്തിനാണെന്ന്
ഇത് ഓക്കെ, സാധാരണ നമ്മൾ സം ചെയ്യുന്നത് ബൈനറി സം ചെയ്യുന്നതും തമ്മിലുള്ള ഡിഫറൻസ് ആണോ? അതെ, ഐ തിങ്ക് യുവർ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഇസ് സാധാരണ നമ്മൾ സം ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും വി ക്യാൻ യൂസ് എക്സ് പ്ലസ് വൈ ഈസ് ഈക്വൽ ടു സമ്മിലേക്ക് സ്റ്റോർ ചെയ്താൽ മതിയല്ലോ, അതല്ലേ? പക്ഷേ ഈ കേസിൽ നമ്മുടെ കമ്പൈലറിന് ഡിജിറ്റൽ നമുക്ക് ഡെസിമൽസ് ആഡ് ചെയ്യാനേ അറിയൂ. ദ കമ്പൈലർ ഡസൻ നോ ഹൗ ടു ആഡ് ബൈനറി. ഇപ്പോൾ ഞാനൊരു ബൈനറി എൻ്റർ ചെയ്തു, 1101 എന്നൊരു ബൈനറി എൻ്റർ ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ കമ്പൈലർ ക്യാൻ ഓൺലി റീഡ് ഇറ്റ് ആസ് 1101. ഇറ്റ് ഡസൻ നോ ടു റീഡ് ഇറ്റ് ആസ് 1101. സോ നമുക്ക് 1101 എന്ന് ആഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഞാനിപ്പോൾ അടുത്തൊരു ബൈനറി എൻ്റർ ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ദ ആൻസർ ഐ എം ഗോണ ഗെറ്റ് ഇസ് 2212. ഇതായിരിക്കും എനിക്ക് കിട്ടാൻ പോകുന്ന ആൻസർ ഇഫ് ഐ ജസ്റ്റ് ആഡ് ദീസ് ടു നമ്പേഴ്സ്, because the compiler doesn't know how to add binary. Now I'm teaching the compiler to add the binary. Now why am I using an array? Because ഇത് ഒരൊറ്റ നമ്പർ ആയിട്ട് എൻ്റർ ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇത് 1101 എന്നേ വായിക്കുള്ളൂ. അപ്പോഴത്തേക്കും എനിക്ക് ഇതിൻ്റെ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഡിജിറ്റ് തമ്മിൽ ആഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് അതിൻ്റെ ക്യാരി എടുത്ത് കൊടുക്കുക, നെക്സ്റ്റ് ആഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് എൻ്റെ ക്യാരി എടുത്ത് കൊടുക്കുക, ഇതെനിക്ക് പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഇതിനെ സിംഗിൾ എലമെൻറ്റ് എൻറ്റിറ്റീസ് ആയിട്ട് ഓരോ എറയിലേക്ക് എടുത്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. So that every number here will be single entities, so that I can add with another single entities and get the output. Is that clear?
ടീച്ചർ ലാസ്റ്റ് സി ഔട്ടിൽ വരുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും ഒരു കീ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ് കൊടുത്തേക്കുന്നല്ലോ.
ഓക്കെ, അത് മാനിപ്പുലേറ്റർ ആണ്. അതായത് എനിക്കിപ്പോൾ ഒരു ആൻസർ കിട്ടും, എനിക്ക് കിട്ടാൻ പോകുന്ന ആൻസർ സമ്മിൻ്റെ ആൻസർ ഇങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ the next carry എന്ന് പറയുന്നൊരു സാധനം will be a number, can be 0 or 1. Now if I don't give a space here, it will come along with this. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ബൈനറിയുടെ കൂടെ ചേർന്ന് നിൽക്കും, അത് നമുക്ക് ഡിസ്റ്റിങ്ക്വിഷ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റത്തില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഒരു ടാബ്, ദിസ് ഇസ് ടാബ് ഓപ്പറേറ്റർ, മാനിപ്പുലേറ്റേഴ്സിൽ വരുന്നതാണ്, മാനിപ്പുലേറ്റേഴ്സിൻ്റെ വീഡിയോയിൽ കാണും. ഇത് ടാബ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഓപ്പറേറ്ററാണ്. അതായത് ഇത് കുറച്ച് സ്പേസ് അവിടെ ലീവ് ചെയ്യും. ന്യൂ ലൈൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞൊരു ഓപ്പറേറ്റർ ഉണ്ട്, അതായത് നമുക്കൊരു ലൈൻ വിട്ടിട്ട് നമുക്ക് തരും, അങ്ങനത്തെ. ഇവിടെ ഞാനൊരു ടാബ് യൂസ് ചെയ്തു എന്നേ ഉള്ളൂ. ഓർ എൽസ് യു ക്യാൻ ഗിവ് സം സ്പേസ് ഹിയർ. ഇവിടെ കുറച്ച് സ്പേസ്, അല്ലാണ്ട് ഈ ഡബിൾ കോട്ട്സ് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് അടിച്ചു കൊടുത്താലും ടാബ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യേണ്ട ആവശ്യം വരത്തില്ല. ജസ്റ്റ് യൂസ് ടു മാനിപ്പുലേറ്റ് മൈ ഔട്ട്പുട്ട് സ്പേസ്. Any other questions? Now I am trying to compile this program. Is anybody ready with their compiler? What is that? Ent-l? Ent-l is to create a new line. Me serious. Try compiling the program, please. So you have to include #include iostream in the beginning. I forgot that. Okay, is there anybody trying the program right now? Okay, I have 0 errors and 0 warnings. I'm ready to go. Now enter the number of bits. Now I'm giving, I'll start from 4-bit. Enter the first binary. Now we have to remember, you can't just type it as 1011. Okay, you have to use a space between every number, then only it will identify it as separate digits. Okay, therefore 1011. Now enter the second binary. Second binary also you have to enter it with separated with space. Say it is 0 0 0 1. The sum of binaries is 1 1 0 0. Can anyone try this for me and see if the answer is correct? One plus 1 is 0 with a carry 1. Again 1 plus 1 plus 0 is 0 with a carry 1. Again 1 plus 0 is 1 and 1 plus 0 is 1. The answer is 1 1 0 0 with a carry 0. Is that clear? Is that clear, guys?
Yes, teacher.
Is there anybody trying it right now? Now enter another, say I am using a 6-bit binary. Now my n will be 6, so that every step, every for loop will run 6 times. That's why I have given 6 here. Now let's say my number is let's start from 1 1 0 0 1 0, and my second binary is say 1 0 0 0 1 0. Okay, now what is the answer you expect? The answer is 0 plus 0 0, 1 plus 1 is 0 with a carry 1. Again 1 plus 0 is 1. Again 0 plus 0 is 0. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 0 with a carry 1. Therefore the answer is 0 1 0 1 0 0 with a carry 1. This space occurred because I just given that tab manipulator. Again I can try with an 8-bit binary or a 16-bit binary or a 32-bit binary. Anyways, any portion of binaries is possible just with the single program. Now let me try with another binary, 8-bit binary, see. And this is my answer. Is the program clear? Is the program clear? Do anyone have a doubt with that? Can you please sound? Can you please voice your doubts? I know the program is a bit heavy than what we have done so far, so I want to hear from you.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Is this clear?
Clear on teacher.
Is there anybody who has a doubt? Okay, fine. Let me wind up it over here. Okay, bye. If you have any doubts, you can text me. We will take it up from there in the next class. In the next class, we have to do binary subtraction. Before doing binary subtraction, you have to be well clear with what we have done in binary addition, because binary subtraction is a bit more lengthy program. I must say it is twice as lengthy as binary addition, because in binary subtraction it comes to addition and to portion to find the ones complement. So it is a bit more complicated than what we have done here. But probably the question asked will only be from binary addition. Hopefully there won't be binary subtraction in your examination, so you need not to worry about it, but we will learn it for the sake. So we'll see you in the class. If you have any doubts, you can reach out to me. Bye. You can leave the class.